Hey guys, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO, and also known as the Compassionate Patriot. I am very proud of what this country stands for. I am so proud of the people in this country. Over 350 million, all started from just a handful. That's an amazing story. It's an amazing origin story. It's not been perfect over the last 245 years. We've made a lot of drastic mistakes. But yet today, I see people, and I'm going to share a Skype, that get offended at people without truly understanding and knowing. In this case here, I had a client send me over a Skype and say, Troy, I need you to see this. One of our consultants, influencers, whatever you want to call them, has taken offense because they can't build their business because of you. Because you're too patriotic. This individual wrote and said, because Troy has white power tattoos, wears patriotic shirts, and has the American flag in the background most of the time. I'm actually in the media room today. It's raining cats and dogs. Not already left the studio. But this was important to me. They said, we can't build our business. He seems like a nice guy. But that is too much patriotism. Now, for some of you, you're thinking, what? For me, I'm thinking, yes. Because this individual lives in the America that I love. And under the Constitution, this individual, without any reprisal, was able to vent their offense. Now, the question that comes to mind is, should we be offended if we don't know the individual? And I got to thinking, you know what? Most people don't know the story of my tattoos. Unless they've seen me on stage, they don't know. Now, I want to tell you this. If you get offended when you see a man's bare chest, I'm going to take my shirt off and talk about some tattoos in a minute. So I want you to know that. Just go ahead and I'll try to warn you again, but I'm going to do that. But when this individual started talking like that, I thought, wow, this goes to show that they don't understand their origin story. Not their mom and dad's, not their grandma and grandpa's, but theirs. Because, see, we live in a country today where the majority of people are good people. There's probably 3 to 5% that are just dull, negative, disillusioned, evil idiots that ought to just be put out of their misery in prison, through the court system. I don't care what it is. They just need to leave other people alone. But what happens is we start to get a narrative and people all of a sudden tie things together that they shouldn't. See, patriotism has nothing to do with partisanship, has nothing to do with politics whatsoever. Patriotism isn't Democrat. Patriotism isn't Republican. It's not. It is we the people. There are downright patriotic Democrats. Some of you Republicans that probably freak you out. Did you know there's some liberals that love this country and they love the Second Amendment? See, this country is about we the people. It's not about what you see on TV. It's not about all the rhetoric. It's about your origin story. And so many times we get wrapped up on the media side. We get wrapped up on the federal politics instead of saying, what can I do at home? Maybe some of you don't remember, but before Barack Obama became POTUS Obama, he was a community organizer. Now, the odds are his ideology and my ideology doesn't mix. Didn't vote for him, but he was my president once he was elected. And he was elected on hope and change. And you know what he did as an organizer before he became a politician? He tried to help his communities in the way that he saw fit under the Constitution of the United States. That's what he did. Now, the greatest president of my time, my opinion, was Ronald Reagan. And he did the exact same thing. When he was governor of California, he didn't want a bunch of socialists, didn't want communists, was doing it. He thought he was doing his patriotic duty his way. So let's talk about my origin story for a minute. Because see, every tattoo on my body comes with a story. The tattoos that's on my 18-year-old son comes with a story. The ones that are on my daughters come with a story. See, part of my tattoos is my origin story. And it doesn't have anything to do with white power. Although I've proudly told people, well, man, I'm definitely a white nationalist American. Oh, Troy, you shouldn't say that. If you go look up the term, you realize that America is the most mosaic country there is. And my nationalism for this country is for we, the people, not for its government. We elected those civil servants. Okay, they're not leaders except by position. And we put them in that position. They serve their people in all 50 states. That's what they do. So let's talk about my tattoos so that you can decide, is that white power? First comes my hand. I don't know if you guys can see that. This says, act justly, walk humbly, love mercy. Now, if that has to do with white power, I've never read that. And what I love is that this individual actually could write this. They could write and say, I'm offended. They could write and say, I can't build my business. This is America. I get people that get so ticked off at me when they literally say, Troy, can you believe they're kneeling before the flag instead of saluting it? That doesn't bother me. I want to act justly, walk humbly, and I want to love mercy. And I believe in the Constitution of the United States, which says we, the people, can kneel if that's what we want to do. I think sometimes people's timing gets off. But if somebody wants to kneel and somebody tries to run up and take that away from them, I'm going to knock the living snot out of that individual trying to take that person's rights away. While they're kneeling, I'm going to be standing and I'm going to be saluting the flag that I swore to protect. That's what we, the people, are about. When you look at my wrist, it has barbed wire with the American flag through it to remind me of the pain that our military sometimes goes through and their families at home are going through. It's not just peaches and cream. The sacrifices that are made for a volunteer military are huge. Divorce rates up, mental illness is bad. There's some bad people in the military and they rape and they pillage and we've got to put them in court and put them in prison. It sucks. And that doesn't even count all they've seen at war where kids are blown up, women are raped, beheaded. Stuff that I hope you never have to go through. I hope you never have to see one of your comrades that you have fought with, you've fought side by side, you guys swore we're coming home together, get blown to smithereens or captured and gutted like a catfish. I hope you never have to see that. Now, when you go on up my arm, back here is my Christian flag. Proudly. Over here, my American flag. On this side of my arm, whoops, do it this way. I can't do it that way. Do it that way. Is the American flag. Because in my DNA, those three flags ring true. Now I've got another tattoo that's right here that I like. It's a new tattoo. It says seeking discomfort. I had that one put on this year. The reason I had it put on is because my son has that. And he said, Dad, I always want to be seeking discomfort. I don't want to become complacent. I don't want to become complacent for Jesus. I don't want to become complacent when I get married. I don't want to become complacent at work. I always want to seek that discomfort so I can go out and serve others, so I can grow and I can be somebody. I said, is it okay if I put that on my arm too? He said, yeah. I said, thank you. On this arm over here, starting right here, it says love wins. Above that is a Celtic infinity with a heart in it. This whole arm isn't patriotic. This whole arm is. I'm going to show you the top in a minute. This is about my origin story with my wife. This is my origin story as an American. When you turn my hand over this way, she's locked. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a lock right there. And out of it is two cuts in my arm and in her name. is on this side. And I know you can't see all this, but I just want you to realize here is my DNA. And it says soulmates, Paige and Troy, written in it. On my inside arm is a scroll with a pen, the ink spilt. My wife is a 4-time best-selling writer, 30 books. And it says The Greatest Love Story, 1987. On this side is her name. When I turn my hand over, it says forever. So it's forever, Paige. This whole part of my body. It's about that origin story. Now, I don't want you to get offended. I'm going to take my shirt off. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a buffalo here. I've got an Indian princess above. Inside my arm is an American eagle with the American flag in it. On this side over here are 2 wolves. The female wolf is underneath the male wolf. It's got Paige's eyes. Because wolves mate for life, and a female wolf will protect her husband's throat from predators. If you look, that right there is a devil dog. It says United States Marine Corps. This one here is a giant heart. Paige has got the key to it. It's a lock. And it says vowed to Princess Paige. See, everyone has an origin story. I love my family to no end. I would do anything for my wife. I love this country. I work closely to help protect it. Do you know that 22 veterans a day, men and women, commit suicide? All the patriotic shirts that I wear give money to fight PTSD and to help our military that have come home after seeing beheadings, rapes, blown up babies, their comrades blown away, all fighting sometimes for something they don't even know what is. But at the end of it, they know if they don't win, that war has to come back home. And in the 21st century, we've already seen what happens when terrorists bring it to our neighborhood. So the next time that you feel offended, I would challenge you, get to know the origin story. Everything I have today, I've been blessed with hard work and literally the Lord. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because I was born on the wrong side of the tracks. My mom in the 60s had me out of wedlock, so y'all know what they called me. My adoptive dad was a union organizer working for Jimmy Hoffa, later Fitzsimmons, and worked for organized crime in Kansas City. I know a little bit about the wrong side of the tracks. I didn't have a college education. I joined the Marine Corps. And I went on a quest to raise myself up out of that victim's mindset. Married a wonderful woman who was my high school sweetheart. She has given me 9 wonderful kids. We are blessed beyond any of our imaginations whatsoever. And it all goes back to walk humbly, act justly, and love mercy. Before you get offended, learn the origin story. I'll see you the next time.